I'll be joining you here today for a cast of Wolves versus Crystal Palace here in the Premier League as we get, I believe this is week 6. Trying to think of my fantasy record. I think it's week 7. Let me double check. I'm gonna double check. I always double check with my fantasy record, which is bad. I am 2-0-4, so that makes this week 7. Joining you for week 7 here of the Premier League. Oh, and I'm actually looking at my Twitter. It looks like I need to update the profile pic that is connected there to Twitch. So we'll work on that at a later time. But I recently changed up my Twitch page a decent amount. I moved my brother's drawing that he made for me into the actual profile picture section. And then I changed all of my basically descriptions and headers in the about me section. So I'll try to get that one working so that we can see my brother's picture popping up in the profile there. Actually, I might make it my official profile picture, but I do like holding on to that picture of me in Morocco there. Thanks, Nolan. I will do my best. So yeah, for those joining today, I will be taking 9 days off of streaming after today, and I think I will probably stop at halftime of this stream. Oh yeah, who is Nolan? Sorry, Young Bolus. So I will be taking 9 days off after this because I'm going on partial vacation to Red River Gorge in Kentucky to go lead climbing with a bunch of my friends, or not a bunch, just a few. But yeah, so we're driving down tomorrow, and I'm not bringing my PC and stuff with me, so it's too hard to stream on the laptop. So we'll be taking nine days off. We'll be back on the 9th, I believe. Will be our first stream back. So this will be the last one for a while here, and I am a little sad about that. We will be missing 2 Premier League weekends and the Champions League matches next week, but sometimes you got to do it. The vacation is overdue, and I'm excited to get down there. So we'll probably be only doing a half here today. Depends on when it ends, but my friend's supposed to be picking me up around 4:30, and if I try to cast the second half, I'm just going to be like right up against the clock. I don't really want to do that. I would like to just kind of like get my stuff together. I still have a few electronics sitting out around that I want to bring with me that are charging right now, and so I'll probably just cut the stream off at halftime. Turn my gain down here a little bit because I'm picking up high volume again. But so we have Wolves and Crystal Palace here today. Let's take a look at the lineups here. Is the game just about to start in 5 minutes? So for Crystal Palace, it'll be Vicente Gaeta in goal as usual. Nathaniel Klein actually going to get a start here. Old Liverpool right back there. Going to be slotted into the lineup here at right back. Checo Kouyaté, Scott Dan, and Patrick Van Aanholt will make up the rest of the back four here for Crystal Palace. So looks like Tyrick Mitchell is actually going to get a rest here. Not sure if he's injured or not, but Patrick Van Aanholt will find himself back on the pitch. And then across the four in front of them, Andros Townsend on the right, Luka Milivojevic and Jairo Vidovald in the midfield, and Jeffrey Schlupp out on the left there with Wilf Zaha and Michy Batshuayi making up the front two here. So going with the tried and true 4-4-2 for the likes of Roy Hodgson here. Of course, Roy, a manager that loves to set his team up to not really lose and looks to have his strikers and the pace from his wingers try to find opportunities on the counterattack, try to find goals here and there and use that to get victories for Crystal Palace. And of course has the incredibly talented Wilfred Zaha is one of the few players able to take on that sort of burden. Well, he has been in great form here to start the Premier League season. Scoring in multiple matches, has looked dangerous in all of them essentially, and will be given another shot here today. Meanwhile, for Wolves, we have Rui Patricio in goal, Willy Bolly, Connor Cody, Max Kilman, the back three, Nelson Semedo, and Ryan Ait-Nouri going to be starting here at left wing back. So both Marçal and Johnny, as well as Roman Saiz, all unavailable for selection here today. So it will be Ait-Nouri getting his debut here at left wing back. And the midfield duo will be Leander Dendoncker and Ruben Neves. Same duo from last game. In the front three, staying consistent here from the last couple of matches, Daniel Podence, Raul Jimenez, and Pedro Neto. And still, third game in a row here, we see no Adama Traore starting. So still a little unawares as to what's going on there. There has been no information out of the Wolves camp as to whether Adama is injured. So one does have to assume that it's just a personnel selection here from Nuno. And if it is just a personnel selection, then it raises a lot of question marks. Adama Traore, pretty clearly the most talented player on Wolves last season and their most dangerous threat. And while they have won a couple of matches without him starting, they have not quite looked as electric without him, I would say. And it will be Podence and Neto trying to reward Nuno's faith in them. But maybe at some point we'll find out what is going on. Ooh, that's rough, young Bullis. Oh, nice. That's pretty solid. Did you change it today? But as I was mentioning, will be no Adama Traore in the starting lineup again. So do keep your eyes on him potentially coming off the bench, and keep your eyes on the news from Wolves, as maybe at some point we'll find out what's going on here. Again, Adama, the sort of player that if he is healthy, you pretty much want to start him in every match. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that one. But so far, Wolves have won 2 matches without him. Or sorry, they've won 1 and drawn 1, drawing with Newcastle 1-1 last week. We'll see what they can do here today against this Crystal Palace side. I do expect them to have a decent portion of the possession. Of course, Crystal Palace are a team that's going to want to sit in here, try to look for opportunities on the counterattack. That's an interesting one. I would still at least play Maguire. Probably. I know Arsenal like to go pretty direct sometimes, and he can win a lot of headers. Not sure if you think United will go direct, but I'd be looking for that for Gabriel, unless your other defender options are just way better. I'm not really sure what the other matchups are. So, but yeah, lineups are set here. They're moving the last of the stanchions off the field here. I'm really not that worried it'll be a huge goal fest. I mean, it could be. I think like a lot of games could be, but that's solid. Robbo against West Ham sounds like good business to me. I would prioritize that one. Yep. I do like Mina at Newcastle. Actually, team that really likes to go vertical there. James Justin at Leeds. I don't know about that last one. Walker. Yeah, okay. I'd play Walker at Sheffield. I mean, Man City haven't been very good, but Sheffield have also not been very good. They did look better at Liverpool last week, but still have been struggling offensively. We'll be getting into this one again as we take a look at the recent run of form here for both sides. Wolves coming off a 1-1 draw to Newcastle at the weekend. Crystal Palace are coming off a 2-1 win over Fulham. That was just preceding their 1-1 draw against Brighton. They've seen 2 red cards, 1 in each match they've played in the last 2 in the Premier League. We'll see if that does continue, but seems a bit unlikely. And then for Wolves, did come off that 1-1 draw with Newcastle last weekend. They're up. They beat Leeds 1-0 in the matchup before that, and it doesn't look like they were involved in any other matches. So they will be looking for a better result here today against Crystal Palace. Again, probably disappointed with the way that one against Newcastle ended. But did manage to watch that game and can't say that Wolves were deserving of much more in that one, as we'll be playing tribute here for a fallen English Army member. Yeah, I could see Leeds scoring 3 goals in every single game they play. That team is very dynamic. That's some chaos right there. I mean, I would make sure Pepe starts, but yeah. right, and the tribute here just ending. Well, yeah, obviously, I would sit Traore. I mean, move Traore out. I don't know why you would start him. Yeah, I would get Traore out now in the next 30 seconds. Well, living and dying based off the Wolves' attack has been a little bit rough recently. Only 2 goals in their last 2 matches, and a team that usually looks to score a little bit more. We'll see if Neto and Daniel Potence can pick up their end of the slack. Raul Jimenez has scored both of those last 2 goals. So still doing his normal amount of work is the Mexican striker here for Wolves. Well, I can tell you one thing that's wrong already. All right, the match going to be getting underway here. We'll be started off by Crystal Palace. Players all going to take a knee here in support of Black Lives Matter. Adama's not in the lineup. That's the problem. That's your first problem. So here is Crystal Palace getting us started here, moving this one all the way back to Gaita. He's going to launch this one up the right-hand touchline here. Easily won there by Kilman. Potence fighting for possession here with Townsend. Townsend will collect it. He looks up for Michy Batshuayi. That one going to come off a Wolves player last. This one cleared away by Aït-Nouri. Here is Crystal Palace now moving this one away. Good spray here from Milivojevic. We'll look up to Townsend here. Klein getting the overlap as well. Looks inside. Good movement here from Wiedewald. Townsend looking for the shot. Going to shift it out to Zaha. Zaha driving here. Will take a shot on his left foot there, but that one never getting that close to goal. Do like the start here from Crystal Palace. Just a minute in, they're already driving forward pretty proactively. You can see good movement from Klein to sprint up that sideline. Allows Townsend to come inside there. He picks out Zaha. It's a bit of a tough shot there on his left foot, but trying to potentially get himself warmed up into this match. But decent defending from Nelson Semedo. Here's Potence. He's going to look up for Jimenez. Sorry, that's Neto actually. This is Jimenez. Drive this one out to Semedo. Willy Bali now. Going to come back to Cody. He's going to shift this one out to Aït-Nouri. Cody going long out here to Nelson Semedo. Good pick out there. Semedo will control it. Looks up the field. We'll just cut this one back. It's now entry pass there from Jimenez in towards the feet of Neto, but that one poked away by multiple Crystal Palace players. Here's Potence clipping this one in. That one easily cleared away by Scott Dan. It'll come back out to Potence. Shifts it on to his right. He's going to shift this one all the way out here. Will be collected by Semedo, crossing that in, and that one going to go over the head. Here's a shot, though, from Den Donker, but whistle had gone there as a foul going to be called on Raul Jimenez. Kouyaté, the one getting fouled there for Crystal Palace. But a decent cross out here from Semedo. You can see this ball from Potence makes it a little bit difficult, but Semedo just manages to keep it in bounds. He doesn't get any pressure from the Crystal Palace players, so serves that one in from deep. You can see Raul Jimenez leaping very early there, gets an arm into the side of Kouyaté. That's always going to be a foul when you're going up for that ball in the box. Yeah, I imagine Townsend was a pretty good pickup, at least thus far. Here's Townsend once again, going to drop that one back off to Kouyaté. So I'm going to come long from Gaita looking for Batshuayi. He will lose out there to a combination of Kilman and Dendoncker, but it's Zaha coming away. That one poked off of him by Dendoncker. Now Semedo moving this one forward. Neto looking inside. So move back to Cody. Semedo. That pass by Semedo blocked there by Jeffrey Schlupp, who's now into a tackle once again, knocking that one away. Claims of a foul there, but it looked to be a clean challenge by Schlupp. Who was the random player? I mean, I think you could. You could still get a lot for KDB at pretty much all times. So I'm going to be shifted out to Nori. He'll look inside here. It's Neves. Cody looking back out towards Semedo. Cody's been very accurate with those balls out to Semedo as he's clipping this one in the back post. Left by Neto, bouncing around the Crystal Palace box here. Kuyate going to get that one away. Shot by Neves is blocked by Riedewald. And it will be collected by Gaita. Good defending in the end there by Crystal Palace, able to keep that one away. Good pressure here by Wolves in the early stages. You can see them pushing back Crystal Palace deep into their box. Crosses coming in here from the right from Nelson Semedo. They haven't been the best crosses, but they have looped high enough that someone as good in the air as Raul Jimenez can go up and try to win them. Here is Nathaniel Klein now. Back to Milivojevic. A little bit of possession here for Crystal Palace. He'll look inside to Zaha, but that layoff pass for Townsend picked off by Neves, and Semedo will come away with it. Now shifted back to Bali. Over to Cody. So I'm going to be clipped here to the near side. It's Nori. He'll look back. Cody. Another good sprayed pass out here from Cody to Nori. He's been extremely accurate with those long passes here so far today and has been in their last couple of matches. There's a good pass from Neves out to Semedo. Now back to Neto. This one coming out towards Nori. It's picked up by Podence instead. Shifting it back onto his right foot, looking for that clip pass to the back post. Header towards goal here, but Gaita sees that one and knows it's going wide. He scrambles to make sure, but it's always going to be tough to get some power onto that one from Dendoncker. It wasn't the most driven cross. You can see Podence kind of clipping this one. So Dendoncker is forced to be the one to put all of the pace into that header. Just can't get enough on it. You can see Gaita probably has that one covered all the way, but it's just debating whether it's going wide or not. Dendoncker getting fairly close with that header. Some more good pressure here from Wolves in the early stages. This one clipped out to the right by Gaita. It's going to escape the likes of Batshuayi. Will roll out for a Wolves throw here. Well, don't worry, Nolan. I have sons, so we can enjoy him together. Or young bullets, sorry. Nori being held up here by the referee. Not sure what the holdup is here from the center referee. Guess there was a review for a potential handball in that last header from Dendoncker, but yeah, nothing doing there. And the thrower from Nori will connect there with Jimenez, will be cleared away by Nathaniel Klein. Chasing this one is Michy Batshuayi. He'll force Kilman into an awkward clearance there. It will be a throw into Crystal Palace. Townsend going to be the one standing over this. Klein going to throw this one in. It's Riedewald sending it back. Now Townsend trying to dribble around Podence there, but easily read by Nori. He'll get that interception, and Wolves can come away with it once again. Neves is the one to knock this all the way over to Semedo. Again, excellent crossfield pass here from Neves, his second of the game. Him and Cody have been extremely accurate with those so far. Now it's Neto moving this one into Neves. He'll clip this one over towards Jimenez. Skipped for Podence. Podence cutting in, clipping this one towards the back post. That shot's on target, but Gaita able to see that one the entire way. Podence, again, putting more of a clip onto that one than a pure drive. He didn't quite put the power into this strike, more trying to chip it towards that back corner. And that allows Gaita to shift over. You can see Podence settling it down here, shifts it onto his right foot well. He just doesn't put any power onto that strike. It's a side foot there. It's just trying to be directed into that top corner, not really struck into that top corner. Now short corner here from Wolves. That one going to be read well by Townsend. Neto will get it back to Semedo, whose cross will come in. Easily headed away there by Milivojevic. Riedewald trying to apply some pressure to Neves. He'll send this one in behind. Kuyate running with Dendoncker. Dendoncker will win that header but knock it out for a throw. And it's actually going to come off Kuyate there. So good work by Dendoncker to win the possession for his team. Now he'll stay to check in for this one. We'll send it back to Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri cutting onto his left here, trying to get around Riedewald, but we'll have that one poked off of him. Looks like it will last come off a Crystal Palace player, so Aït-Nouri will be the recipient of the throw-in from Daniel Podence, and good challenge here from Townsend. Will just make another throw for Wolves. Still trying to get their way out of this corner are the Wolves. Try to get a little closer to a shooting area as they are still pretty deep in Crystal Palace territory. Here it's Jimenez, and that's a poor back pass there for Aït-Nouri. That'll sail out for a Crystal Palace throw. Crystal Palace will probably look to clear the lines a little bit, throw this one long up the line. It's Klein assessing what to do here. We'll go back to Kuyate, who will clear it away. Headed forward by Cody, trying to keep that one in, and it will be headed by Klein as it does stay in. Batshuayi ends up on the turf here as he goes up for that challenge with Kilman. But Wolves have one possession back, and it's Semedo once again. Now Neto. This one comes back to Neves. Out to Semedo. He'll look back. Neves going to swing this one around. It's Cody. Kilman. Aït-Nouri, good move here to get past Batshuayi, driving down the line here, looking for the cross, has Riedewald in front of it, and Riedewald will block that cross, but it will go out for a corner kick here, so good work by Aït-Nouri. It will be the second corner of the match here for Wolves. It's a very positive start here for Wolves, again, applying a ton of pressure onto Crystal Palace. Of course, Palace are a team that tends to allow pressure to come onto them, trying to sit in deep, look for counter-attacking opportunities. I don't think they'll be thrilled with how much it is. Is this one coming into the box, bouncing around now? It's collected by Dendoncker. He's going to look back for Aït-Nouri, who will strike this one. It's going to deflect and will go behind for yet another corner here to Wolves. See this one go short. Neto being the one to cross it in off of that setup, and Bali and Kilman are up there. Trying to knock that one into the net. It's a bit of handling going on from Scott Dan on the back of Kilman here, and somehow it goes through both Wolves players there. Here's the ensuing corner, going to go with the same routine there, but that one blocked away. It will be another corner, so the fourth one of the match here for Wolves, and now Crystal Palace may be alert to that little short corner routine that Wolves have been doing. The layoff for Neto here, but it looks like Podence and Neto just going to set up for it again. Instead, it will be Podence clipping this one in. That's a poor cross there, and that one easily cleared away at the near post by Batshuayi. Very, very low cross there from Podence. Oh, we do see that actually Willy Bali did get his head on that one, and it bounced off of Kilman, actually. So a little bit unfortunate is Willy Bali. And I'm being messaged here at work. Give me 1 second. As Raul Jimenez is going to collect this one. We'll go all the way back to Semedo across the field. Semedo steadying himself. This one coming in towards the back post. It's Gaita going up to collect this one. Good goalkeeping there by Vicente Gaita. Now Crystal Palace trying to move this one out of their defensive end. It's Milivojevic out to Van Aanholt. He'll look up the field. It's now Wilf Zaha back to Milivojevic. Friedewald trying to offer an option here. Instead, we'll look in for this cut pass. Schlupp will move it out. This is Zaha. Now Schlupp once again riding the challenge there of Willy Bali, trying to go around. Good cross there coming in from Schlupp, and that one will be headed behind by Connor Cody. It'll be the first corner of the match here to Crystal Palace. Excellent work by Jeffrey Schlupp to get that opportunity. See him driving past this challenge from Willy Bali, then pushing it around Nelson Semedo, able to get that cross away just as he's body checked by Semedo. Here is the ensuing corner from Crystal Palace. Going to be swung in here. That one is also a poor cross. This one from Milivojevic, and that one actually chested down by Raul Jimenez, who's now trying to run onto this one, but overruns it a little bit. Now Crystal Palace coming the other way. I believe this is Van Aanholt on this one. Milivojevic trying to clip this one past Dendoncker, but instead will bounce off of Dendonker's chest, and now Wolves have it once again. Driving forward here is Neto. Going to look wide for Podence. Podence will try to shift it past Milivojevic. He does have the space to get the cross away, but that one's from a little too deep of an angle, and Gaita reads that one easily, comes out and claims it. So Potence's effort there a little bit too close to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Broncho 7. Leonardo Campagna. I don't know a whole lot about Leonardo Campagna. We've been doing a lot of Premier League coverage. Who does he play for? Crystal Palace with this one. 35% to 65% in favor of Wolves here. Is Klein going to move this one forward? Good dribbling here from Andros Townsend as he gets around a couple of Wolves challenges. But we'll be forced to move it back to Milivojevic. Yeah, I don't know enough about him, actually. He has not been starting all season. That's for sure. As Crystal Palace playing this one through the lines. It's an excellent ball in behind. Early cross of Van Aanholt. Here's the chance, and it's a goal! It's a beautiful goal from Crystal Palace here, but Michy Batshuayi is offsides. Oh, what a shame. That was an absolutely beautiful series of passes from the side of Crystal Palace. Just watch this combination as they just tear through Wolves' defense here. Starts in the back. Great one-touch passing between Schlupp and Zaha. The early cross coming in here from Van Aanholt. And yeah, Michy Batshuayi just about a half yard off sides there in what would have been an absolutely brilliant goal. The finish itself is also a thing of beauty. Timing it perfectly. Squaring up the side of his foot there, burying it underneath the outstretched Rui Patricio. But unfortunately for him, he is found to be offsides, and the game remains 0-0 here, despite the absolutely brilliant attacking play there in that build-up for Crystal Palace. So Wolves getting this one started again. He's 26-2. I'll have to check out some highlights of him. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot. I heard a lot more about Fabio Silva being signed for them this year for that record fee at the ripe old age of 18 or 19, I believe. But I'll have to take a look. Here is a looped cross into the box, headed away by Kuyate. Here's the shot from Neto, and he scores. Sorry, that's Ait-Nouri coming in at the back post there, and the debutant Ait-Nouri will give Wolves the lead here in the 18th minute of play. And right after they went ahead but were called for offsides, Crystal Palace find themselves down a 0-0 courtesy of the debutant left back Ait-Nouri. We take a look at this replay. Cody going to shift this one all the way out to Semedo once again. He'll look in behind. This one certainly onsides as Podence runs onto this one. He looks for the early cross here. Kuyate gets a flick on it, but here comes Ait-Nouri into the picture, and that's just a great finish into the back post. Lines it up with that left foot. and absolutely buries it into the bottom left corner. Just enough pace on it to take it past the outstretched hand there, Vicente Gaita. And Aït-Nouri, what a day it must be for him. On for the injured Johnny, the injured Marçal, who was signed in the summer. Roman Saiz not available after he played left wing back last weekend. And Aït-Nouri, his first career Wolves goal, his Premier League debut, as he was acquired on loan from Angers earlier this year. And what a debut it is for him. What a day it will be for him. And what a start here for Wolves. Under 20 minutes, they find themselves up a goal. Just minutes after they thought they would be trailing to that effort from Michy Batshuayi. And here on the other end, Crystal Palace, another good attacking play here. But Riedewald's header is a little bit too far in front of Michy Batshuayi. Patricio comes out and claims that one. Okay. Sorry, I mentioned I did have to do one little thing for work. I can let that run now. Now here come Wolves again through Semedo. He's going to look inside. It's Jimenez trying to get around the challenge of Kouyaté here, but it comes to the feet of Scott Dan. That one will be cleared away by Dan there. Yeah, sorry, young Bolus. I kind of baited you there. It was not Neto. It was somebody else. No points. No points for you. But hey, on a positive note, I actually just picked this guy up off waivers. So, you know. Here's Ruben Neves. Podence did. Podence probably will. It was across from him, and it was headed away by Kouyaté. Here's Aït-Nouri moving this one in towards Podence. Ruben Neves. Volley. Cody shifting this one over to Kilman. Aït-Nouri. Neves looking back out towards Semedo. This has been a very profitable avenue here for Wolves down this right-hand side. As Semedo taking a shot on here, cutting inside on his left foot, and that one was not too far away. Gaita diving down to his right, and that one just going wide of the left-hand post there. Another decent chance here. See this one sprayed out by Neves again to Semedo. He's not closed down quickly by Van Aanholt. Drives inside on that left, takes a good strike there. And take a look at the replay here. Yeah, it's actually extremely close to going in at that left-hand post there. Just about a half yard outside of it. And Gaita was at full stretch there, worried that that one might nestle into the left-hand side of his goal. Here's Crystal Palace starting it up once again. It's Klein looking infield for Milivojevic. He's got some room to work here. Will finally be closed down by Jimenez. Now Riedewald. Van Aanholt. Van Aanholt looking forward towards Wolves. Zaha, but that one intercepted by Semedo. Now with Wolves once again, and Wolves have certainly been the better side here so far. A couple of positive things, though, for Crystal Palace. They have had 2 or 3 attacks that have had very good passing sequences, and while they are under a ton of pressure, could certainly find themselves getting a leveler at any point here. Of course, had the one knocked in by Batshuayi called back for offsides, but have looked fairly decent in the attacking third, just a little bit shaky in midfield and the defense, as Wolves have kind of had the game whatever which way they want when they do have possession, particularly down that right-hand flank with Nelson Semedo up against Van Aanholt. He has had all the time and space he has wanted to make crosses, try to pass inside, have Neto and Podence overlap him on that right-hand flank, as Neves is going to look back out towards this right-hand flank. This time it's Neto. Semedo now on the overlap. He has it. Looks back for Neto. Bit of a slip there, but he'll manage to keep possession. Back to Bali. This one going to come over to Kilman. Podence. Kilman once again. Neves. Wolves just pinging it around their defenders here. Crystal Palace happy to sit deep. Michy Batshuayi, the highest player forward, will finally put a little pressure here. And we'll force Den Donker out to Kilman. Finally going to come up to Podence here on the left-hand touchline. He'll look inside, driving through one challenge. Going to look out for Semedo once again here on the far side. He's going to cross this one early. Raul Jimenez settles it, tries to cut it back on his left there, but that touch escaping him and will roll out for a goal kick. Once again, good attacking here from Wolves. Very patient play, and they seem to always have Nelson Semedo available as an option here on that far touchline. The right-hand flank of the field for them. He has received long crosses or long crossfield balls from Neves, from Cody, from Podence cutting inside. And, poor stuff here from Kouyaté. Finds his pass intercepted by Podence. Jimenez trying to get this one through Milivojevic. He still has it. This one being flicked in behind. Podence going to try to keep this one in play. He will do so. Kouyaté not going to get a challenge in either. That one going to be knocked out for a throw-in as it's Townsend coming back to help out Kouyaté. Now Ait-Nouri, the goal scorer here. Step up to take this throw. He's going to look up here for Jimenez. Podence trying to win this one off Kouyaté. He will find Neves. Clips it over to Dendoncker, who has a strike here. And that one comes off the top of the bar. And just inches away is Leander Dendoncker here as he settled that ball about 25 yards from goal. Just took what looked to be a hopeful strike from this distance. But look at the strike. It absolutely hits the corner of the goal. And not like near the corner of the goal. The absolute corner here of the goal. Pops off the top side of the bar there and will just barely go out of play. What a sweet strike from Leander Dendoncker there, and very unfortunate that ball did not settle into the upper right 90 there. Just about a half yard away in either direction, hitting the corner of the crossbar and post there. And Wolves with another excellent opportunity that just narrowly misses. It remains a 1-0 lead here in the 26th minute. Once again, courtesy of that Ait-Nouri goal. Roy Hodgson here on the sideline, probably wondering what needs to be done. His normally stout defense with those 2 blocks of 4, the midfield and the defenders, has looked fairly weak here up against this Wolves attack. They have been shifted around easily. Wolves have been crossing in dangerously, settling balls around the top of the box, taking good strikes from just outside the 18, and the Crystal Palace defense looking a little frazzled as Scott Dan and Kouyaté sort of yelling at each other after every play here, trying to figure out where their markers are. But here's another good attack from Crystal Palace. This one moved to Townsend, who shoots. That one deflects, and Patricio will be able to come off his line to get that one. So another decent attack here from Crystal Palace, but this one will not come to anything as Townsend's shot eventually is deflected. But another good 4 or 5 passes leading to a good entry ball into Batshuayi. He laid off well for Townsend there. And as we've mentioned, Crystal Palace have looked pretty decent in the attacking third, but their defense and midfield have looked very unorganized here today, unable to cope with the numbers streaking forward from Wolves, and particularly unable to cope with the wing backs in this formation. Semedo always open on that right-hand side. Here's another turnover. Jimenez driving forward, going to look out wide to Neto, has a bunch of shirts in the box. He's looking across. Here's Podence, and Podence will score! And it's 2-0 Wolves in the 27th minute of play. And this one looks like it may be running away from Crystal Palace. Already Wolves look so threatening every single time they attack here, and they find themselves 2 goals to the good, courtesy of Daniel Podence. As we take a look at the replay here, all starts from a Crystal Palace throw-in, and this one thrown into, I believe, Wilf Zaha, who turns that one over. And just an incisive attack here. Raul Jimenez sends this one out to Pedro Neto, and he looks, I believe, for Raul Jimenez. The ball runs by Jimenez there, but Daniel Podence is alert at the back post, and he absolutely buries that one through the legs of Gaita. It's an excellent finish by Podence. It's a brilliant cross from Pedro Neto. And Wolves find themselves up 2-0 here in the 27th minute of play. And as we've been talking about, they look incredibly dangerous every time they attack. This could get worse and worse for Crystal Palace here, unless they can figure something out to try to stem the tide. They have seemed completely incapable of dealing with that right-hand flank Struggled a little bit with the left as well as Nori and Podence. Both the players on the left-hand side have been cropping up to finish off efforts started on the right. Here's Wolves Zaha trying to turn this one to the path of Van Aanholt. But Wolves coming away with it here. It's Neves shifting this one out. You can see the differential right now. 10 shots to 2 in favor of Wolves. 3 shots on target to 0. Possession still sitting at around 65% for them. And it's a complete domination so far in this first half as this passer, Mandros Townsend, is poor. Not going to connect there with the overlap of Nathaniel Klein. Roy Hodgson now getting off his chair, moving out into the technical area. He cannot be happy with what he's seeing. Again, the only part of the Crystal Palace team that has looked good at any stage of this game has been their attack. A couple of decent combinations resulting in some in that one Michy Batshuayi effort on that was actually put into the net but was called back for offsides. A couple other good attacks resulting in some shots. None of those on target, but both of those shots were fairly dangerous and did threaten Patricio's goal at least a little bit. But that really the only positive here as Wolves coming away with it once again. Neves has this one poked off of him. It's still bouncing around midfield. It'll be won back well by Willy Bali. This one pushed away by Semedo from Batshuayi. Here's Neto shifting inside. He's clipped there by Van Aanholt. Tries to stay on his feet, but will eventually draw the foul here. Now Wolves have it once again, this time out on the left-hand side. This near touchline with Nori. Looking in behind here was Podence for Nori, but will not connect with him as Nori cut his run off. Clearance here from Crystal Palace will only go as far as Roy Hodgson there on the sideline, so right around midfield here. Nori will collect this one, look to restart the play. Looks like another ball is needed here for Nori. That one may have been flattening. Nuno Espirito Santo has to be happy with what he's seen so far in this half. His team looking extremely dominant, very sharp in the attack thus far. Really have only been threatened a couple of times on defense, although here is Wolf Zaha driving around Semedo. Surprised he didn't get a foul there, so it looked like Semedo definitely held him up a little bit. This one moved over to Raul Jimenez and now through Podence. Wolves can come again here, has the overlapping run of Nori. He'll just hold this one up. Restart the attack as Crystal Palace shirts have recovered. Now it's Neves shifting this one over to Cody. He's going to look back out to the right here for Semedo. This time Schlupp is around to try to hold up Semedo. He will find himself run out of room here. Schlupp going to win that sliding challenge, but it will go out for a throw-in. I mean, you say that, but it could be, because the reality is if he doesn't play, he's going to ask for a transfer in January, and he's probably going to be bought by a better team. This one played back to Cody. Nori now. Driving into the box, going to look across here. That one not quite going to connect with the run of Den Donker. Now Cody trying to leave this one in for Ruben Neves. Podence. This one moved back by Den Donker to Cody. I mean, I'll just be like very clear and like not hide my personal bias. I think that Adama Traore is the best player on this team by some margin. I think Podence is a solid player. I think Neto's a solid player. I think Jimenez is a very solid player. I think he's the second best. I think Willy Bali's an excellent center back. But Adama Traore has the highest ceiling of anyone on this team, and one of the higher floors as well. What's up, SSB Mix? And so, regardless of how the team's performing, I think it's silly to watch your best player sit on the bench, and I can't imagine he would stick around for something like that. It's a little bit bonkers. I think anyone who follows the Premier League or soccer to some degree is fairly aware that Adama is a better player than the players he's fielding right now. I mean, That can be something people disagree with me on, but that is certainly my personal opinion. And for me, it's not very close. Here is Milivojevic moving this one out. Schlupp looking back to Milivojevic. Slotted in behind here for Riedewald. Now out to Zaha, driving in at Semedo here. His pass will not connect. It's read well by Bali. Here's Townsend. Schlupp looking in behind. Van Aanholt still has it. He'll flick behind. Wolf Zaha in the box, driving forward, but a good poke there from Nelson Semedo will knock that one out for a corner kick. Another decent looking attack here for Crystal Palace. Some solid last-ditch defending there from Nelson Semedo, but you can see the combination plays here from Palace. This time it's Zaha streaking into the box from that flicked pass in behind by Van Aanholt. Good defending by Semedo, though. Here comes the ensuing corner kick. It's Milivojevic. This is a decent ball in. This one will bounce around there in the box. I believe it last came off a Wolves player. Should go out for another corner kick here. Patricio not able to keep that one in play. And just as quickly as he arrives, it appears that SSB Mix has disappeared with the later Gator. It's a good one. Here's the following corner. Milivojevic swinging this one in. This one flicked to the back post. Here's a chance, and that one knocked off the line there by Den Donker. Very alert defending as Scott Dan cropping up at the back post here has a free header onto this one. You can see it's flicked on at the near post, I believe by Semedo. Scott Dan taking up a good position at that back post. He gets his header on target, but it's knocked away by Den Donker. Now it's going to be Andros Townsend over this corner on the near sideline. So this will be an in-swinger with the left foot of Townsend. Here it comes. Good looking cross here, but nobody from Crystal Palace in the way of Rui Patricio. He'll come out and catch that one very cleanly. Can restart the play here. Take a look back at that replay for Dan. And yeah, Dan's still moving back a little bit as that ball was flicked onto him, so didn't get full power on the header. It was certainly on target, but Den Donker alert to that one, able to clear it away very quickly. Now here's Wolves with it once again. It's 8 Nori into Neves. Kilman. Cody. Kilman once again. 8 Nori. Looking for options here. We'll just go back to Kilman. Now looking inside. That one easily read by Townsend. It's intercepted. Riedewald coming away with it. Batshuayi going to ride the challenge here from Cody, and that will certainly be a foul on the Wolves captain there. Milivojevic looking to get this one restarted. 36 minutes into the half here, so just about 10 remaining before we get to that halftime whistle. Good cutback here by Dan as he was under pressure from Neto. Very composed there. I think you could. I think those are two players you could kind of stream in and out depending on where they start, but clearly neither one of them has the full faith of their manager, which is a little unfortunate, I think, in Almiron's case. Here's Milivojevic into Riedewald, looking for a pass to Zaha, who does well to hold off the defense of Semedo there. Now going over in the boxes, Van Aanholt. And it looks like this may be a penalty. I think it will be over to Crystal Palace, and Willy Bali is incensed with the referee here, but it looks like this will stand, at least before the VAR check. And Crystal Palace going to get a chance sort of out of nothing here to try to get within one of Wolves here. And yeah, it does look to be a foul, actually. Willy Bali definitely sticking a leg in here to this challenge. You can see it just evades Semedo. Van Aanholt gets there first, and Bali, in his way, kind of sticks the leg out. And he will be penalized here. We'll see who's going to step up to take this one. It's going to be Milivojevic. Oh boy, they're looking at this, and he may be offsides in the buildup. Oh no. Oh, he is. Oh, what a travesty. Yeah, Patrick Van Aanholt is going to be called offsides here on a VAR review. And this one is going to come back. It will not be a penalty against Willie Bolly. It will be a free kick over to Wolves, and the scoreline going to remain 2-0 here. And this will just add to the stress and frustration for our good friend Roy Hodgson. You can see here is the signal from the referee. Offsides is the call. And Crystal Palace find themselves on the wrong end of the VAR system here. Will remain 2-0 for Crystal Palace, and that's a sigh of relief for them. They have been, again, dominant in this half so far. We've mentioned that Crystal Palace have put together some decent attacks at the very least. They have been getting in some access into the box, a couple shots off the goal that was called back for offsides on Michy Batshuayi, and now this penalty called back for Van Aanholt. So they have been threatening at least around the box, but their defense and midfield have just been completely unable to cope with Wolves in this one. And it would have been quite the frustrating loss there for Wolves to find themselves only up a goal after their domination of this half. Certainly deserves at least a 2-0 lead here. It will be Crystal Palace with this one once again. Move back to Dan. He'll look in for Kouyaté. And yeah, the God, it's 2-0 already. So much better performance here in the first half from Wolves than we've seen from them in the last two matches. I believe they did score a goal either late in the first half, early in the second against Newcastle, but did not look good in that game in general, particularly in the second half, as Newcastle really worked their way back into that one. The VAR giveth and the VAR taketh away, as a foul going to be called here on Ruben Neves, as there was some room to run in behind for Wolves. But we also saw Wolves struggle to find the net against Leeds 2 weeks ago. Did get that very late goal only off a deflection off of Calvin Phillips' head, as the internet was joking off of Calvin Phillips' man bun, but a very fortunate goal in that one. And this is the best that Wolves have looked in recent matches by quite some margin. Again, Crystal Palace have been completely unable to keep up with them here today. So we crest the 40-minute mark, just about 5 remaining. Going to be shifted back to Kouyaté. It's Milhojevic now. Here's Gaita. Clipping this one out to the right-hand side, the near touchline here. Won by Wolves, but eventually settled by Crystal Palace. Moved in field by Townsend, but a great tackle by Cody there. Doesn't quite do enough to get away from Schlupp, but it looks like if we're going to call this one back, as Andros Townsend has ended up in a heap on the turf here. He's going to call the trainer out as well. Not exactly sure what happened there, but I think he's stopping it because there might have been a bash on the head. Of course, all of world football a lot more alert to head injuries in recent seasons after so many concussions and just sort of poor treatment of head injuries was caught in the years leading up to it. Notable ones, of course, being Christoph Kramer in the World Cup final in Brazil. So no chance is going to be taken here. And Andros Townsend does look to be back to his feet. He's had the training staff check on him for a potential concussion and does seem to be alert and ready to go here. We'll hop right back onto the pitch, and it's Van Aanholt now. Moving it back to Schlupp. To the feet of Wilf Zaha. Looks forward. That one intercepted by Bolly. He'll just launch this one away. Going up is Kouyaté to settle that one down. Now driving forward, Van Aanholt. Out to Zaha. Looking back for Schlupp. Bit of a long touch there from Schlupp, but it's close enough to him that Neto cannot challenge him. Back into Schlupp here. Bit of a tight pass there from Scott Dan, but Schlupp handles it well. Now goes for a run here. Will not be found by Zaha. Ends up going back into Scott Dan. Looking for some options here. He'll try to go through. Good pass into the feet of Van Aanholt. He's challenged well there by Den Donker. Good combination play as Van Aanholt inside the box, but an excellent challenge from Cody. Will take that one away, and he's able to complete the clearance here. Good header won there by Jimenez over Dan, and now an attempted read from Podence on that back pass will not be rewarded as Kouyaté saw what he was attempting to do. Just cut it back and picked out a different teammate. Schlupp now looking in field. His pass deflected. He'll come back to Van Aanholt. Kouyaté. Driving forward here. That pass a little bit wayward there from Batshuayi. Comes back out to Zaha. It's back onto his right foot now. Milivojevic, Townsend. He's going to clip this one out to the right-hand side. It's Riedewald. Looks back. Kouyaté trying to find the options here are Crystal Palace, but they're just not seeing a lot in front of them. They keep getting chased a little bit further and further back every time they go back to Kouyaté. Now into the feet of Zaha over on the right-hand side. Good challenge coming in here, and play will be allowed to continue by the center referee, so no fouls adjudged on either side. It's Van Aanholt on the far touchline. He's going to clip this one into the box. That one half cleared by Willy Bolly. It's completed there by Nori. Now Klein. Townsend. In field. Milivojevic. Oh, bit of a skewed pass there from Schlupp. That one's going to be intercepted by Neto. He's coming forward. It's going to be barreled over by Van Aanholt, and that should be a foul and a yellow card here on the Dutch left back. See if the yellow card part comes true. It does. So Van Aanholt will find himself the first player booked here today. After winning what he thought was a penalty earlier on, he will be the first player to pick up that yellow card. So you can see it's a very clear one onto Neto there. Just gets caught by the fact that Neto slows himself down a little bit. Can't slow himself down in time. Just clips the back of Neto's heels as he's on the run. See a lot of rain falling here in Molineux. 2 minutes of stoppage time going to be allotted at the end of the first half here. We have reached that 45-minute mark. It's Kilman over to Cody. He will look back out to Semedo. Cuts inside the challenge from Schlupp here. Picks out Neves. Neves going to go out to the left this time. That one just barely clipped by Klein. He clears it away, but not all the way out of bounds. And it's Nori coming forward here. Rolls it back for Jimenez. Podence back into Jimenez. That one just escaping the outstretched reach of Townsend. Driving forward Semedo inside the box, trying to take on Van Aanholt. He crosses. Here's Raul Jimenez. He's actually going to go backwards there. Elects not to shoot that one. A bit of a weird one from Jimenez. Such a predatory striker normally. And now Crystal Palace coming away with it. It's Zaha, but that's a terrible pass from Zaha straight to Nori. He's going to look out here for Neto, who's met by Kouyaté. Good defending there by Kouyaté, but he's found Podence. Neves. Cody. Just about a minute remaining in this one as Semedo's on top of it. Neves once again, bit of a loose touch there, but is able to retain possession through the challenge of Zaha. Here's Neto. Looking for the run of Podence here. He overhits that one by a lot, but actually chases Gaita back as that mishit cross there from Neto was goal bound, was actually destined for that top right corner. And Gaita reacting a little slow there, but is able to retreat in time to knock that one away for a corner kick. Take a look at the replay here. Neto pushing this one forward. You see he's looking for Podence to make this run. Sorry, that's actually Jimenez. He completely overhits his pass there. Just, yeah, it doesn't even get the contact right, but he gets it so wrong that it's actually heading into the upper 90 of the goal there. And that forces Gaita into save. Now here's Neto crossing from the near corner. Gaita coming out. Good punch onto that one. Tempted shot from Semedo is high, as doesn't get his volley right there. And that will take us to halftime here. So as we go into the break, it will be Wolves leading Crystal Palace here 2-0, courtesy of goals from Nori and Daniel Podence. We will join you after these commercial messages for the second half. All right, guys, that'll do it for halftime. Looking at the clock here, I am not going to be able to do the second half. By the time halftime starts, or by the time second half starts, it'll be 4:05 or so, and then I'll get like 20 minutes of the second half, and then we'll have to cut the stream. So we are going to cut it now at a good spot. I do apologize, for cutting this one off early. Again, I'll be trying to fix my Twitch profile picture while I'm on break. We'll be back streaming again on November 9th. So look for my schedule around November 9th. And in the meantime, do enjoy all the Premier League, Champions League, and Europa League matches. I'm sure I will be watching them as well. But thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.